Hello and welcome everyone to this webinar on Secure Kiosk Lockdown for Windows 10, 11, 8.1 or 7. My name is Akanksha Vashisht and I am the marketing specialist here at Scalefusion. And I have with me my colleagues Sumit Nayak, who is the head of support and also our presenter for today's webinar. I have Shubham Thakur, who is our Windows expert, and he, along with Sumit, would be taking all your questions at the end of this webinar. So don't forget to add in or drop in your questions in the chat box or the questions box. So let's wait for a couple of minutes. I see people are still joining in. Let's wait for a minute or two and then we'll start off. So in the meanwhile, till the time everyone is joining in, am I audible to all of you? Can you give me a heads up in the chat box if I'm properly audible to everyone? Thanks, Arsen. Thanks, Sia. Okay, I see I'm perfectly audible. That's great. Thank you. Thank you so much for your response.
Akansha, maybe we wait for another minute and we get started.
Definitely, Sumit. Let's wait for a minute.
Yeah.
So for those of all who just joined, I'd like to welcome you all to this webinar on Secure Kiosk Lockdown for Windows 10, 11, 8.1 or 7. My name is Akanksha Vashisht and I am the marketing specialist here at Scalefusion. And I have with me my colleagues, Sumit Nayak, who is the head of support and is also our presenter for today's webinar. And I have Shubham Thakur, who is our Windows expert. And Shubham and Sumit will be taking up all your queries or questions at the end of this webinar. So don't forget to drop in any question that you have in the chat box or the questions box below. So I think, Sumit, we have everyone. So I think let's start.
Right, so get started, Akansha.
Yes, let's start.
All right. Is the screen visible to everyone? I've just shared my screen and this little PPT that we put together. So awesome. All right. That's great. Okay, let's get started. You all know why we're here. This is Scalefusion webinar for Secure Kiosk Lockdown for Windows 10, Windows 11, and the older versions, Windows 8.1 and Windows 7, right? So here's the agenda, a quick rundown on what we have in store for the webinar. Windows as a business need, Windows kiosk mode, right? And specifically why we have this webinar and why we have built the agent, the Scalefusion agent. The modern management for Windows devices, especially pertaining to Windows 11 and its challenges, and how Scalefusion is currently helping organizations manage all Windows devices. And how do we do it, right? And yeah, apart from the PPT, apart from all the talk, we're also going to have a live demo. So I'll actually show you how we manage the device. We'll enroll a device and we'll apply policies and yeah, show it to you real time how we do it. We're also going to have a Q&A session. So feel free, like Kancha said, right? Feel free to have your questions ready, enter it in the chat box, and I will take those questions along with my colleague Shubham towards the end of the webinar. Very cool. Now, Windows as a business need, right? We all know it. Come on, who's not heard of Windows, right? Uh, 76% of the users are Windows OS users in the world. All right, this is what the statistics say, and it's been dominant, and it's been dominant for over the years now in the corporate space. Of course, there's a whole lot of reasons for it. There's a whole lot of reasons why Windows is so popular. Yes, it's the unmatched productivity suite that comes along, right? That comes along with Windows as an OS, and it's made it so easy. The ease of use, the great access to applications, and a lot more. And off late, and over the years, Microsoft has just built onto it security top notch and so efficiently, right? So yeah, so that's why 76% of the corporates, right, they prefer Windows over the other OSs that are present. And of course, Windows is cost effective. It gives you the variety that is needed across all devices and OSs. Why Windows over other OSs? Yes, like we just mentioned, right? Wide variety of softwares to choose from. Well, now you have everything. You have the Windows Business Store. You have QWP apps, right? Back in the days, like at least I installed a lot of EXEs. We played a lot of these EXE games. We all remember them from our childhood, right? Yes, a great variety of softwares to choose from, and that's Windows for you. It's familiar, right? Everyone in school is taught Windows, right? That's the basic. So it's more familiar, more widely used, and of course, better compatibility with applications. It's much more, optimized. The platform is much more wider in terms of the applications compared to other platforms. Now, it's poll time. Let's quickly do a poll, and we pause here for a minute. So let us know what is the OS, Windows OS that your organization is currently running. Is it 7? Anything 8, 8.8, 8.1, right? Windows 10, Windows 11, or you're really modern? You have these IoT devices, or are you using a use case around Xbox, Surface devices? Yes, go ahead. So we probably wait for a minute, and yeah, we will take a pause. We'll let you answer the poll, and we'll connect right back. Right? Feel free, cast your vote, please. Cast your votes. We really want to know, right? This data is very important to us. We want to know what is this aggregation, or rather, what is it in terms of usability, and what is the adoption rate in specific for Windows. We really want to know that. And yeah, this data helps us a lot. All right. You see quite a few answers here, right? Okay. 44 votes. Maybe we wait a few more seconds. Come on, we just motivate everyone to vote. Everyone who's there in the webinar. Yeah, great. Okay, there's a few in the others category as well, which is it's quite interesting. And yeah, it's a close tie as we speak between Windows 10 and Windows 11. And yeah, no surprises there. This is what the whole premise of this webinar is, and this is why we have built the agent. Great. Okay. So Akansha, do we get started, or do we need some more time for the poll?
We can start. We can continue so with.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right, now what's a kiosk mode? I'm very sure everyone who's registered here, they're very familiar with the term, right? What classic example of a kiosk would be an ATM machine, right? Locked down to perform specific actions, specific features only, right? Unlike personal devices where we have access to everything and we do want everything accessible, of course, we don't want our personal life to be governed by policies and but yeah, that's not how a corporate life works, right? Of course, we want to have certain restrictions based on corporate policies, certain kiosk based features, right? Yeah, this is where we come into the picture, right? This is the basically a lockdown or a kiosk mode, which of course we will demonstrate in the demo later. Now, with modern management, we do have certain challenges, right? We do have some challenges. Now, Microsoft does offer modern management, and we've largely been using it for our product on Windows 10. But then we felt the need for to support more OSs. But yeah, unfortunately, modern management would not allow that. It is not supported on OSs below 10. So specifically 8.1 or 7, yeah, you can't do modern management. Again, with modern management, it is not supported on Windows 11, and we shall see why, right? That is why, again, we have the agent in place, right? Introducing the Scalefusion agent, right? What is an agent basically, right? It enables your IT teams to optimally enroll, monitor, and manage devices across from 7 to Windows 11. And the benefits, yes, you have multi-app mode. You also have a single app kiosk mode. You have a very intuitive user interface. You get your company's own branding and ease of enrollment across a multitude of devices. So you will see when we actually do the enrollment, you'll see how easy it is to just enroll the device, snap of a finger. Yes. Right. So what does ScaleFusion do? Continuing, simplified deployments, modern management, agent-based enrollment, Azure AD based enrollment. Now, if you have your inventory mapped to Azure AD, right, and then you want to still manage them using Scale Fusion, yes, you absolutely can do it. It's simple. We have a very easy method to link your Azure AD devices and just use the devices connecting it to your Azure AD. We have enhanced security, of course, drive encryption via BitLocker, password enforcement, certificate management, and yes, if your organization uses a VPN, right, and you want to have access to internet using the VPN connection, yes, we do it via VPN configuration. We give you user management too. We can create users, change user passwords, switch users, a lot of things within the kiosk mode and within the options provided in the profiles. We also support BYOD deployment, which is gained popularity ever since COVID. Many organizations do allow employees to use their own devices, and yes, absolutely, we do support that as well. A very important feature of a part of every corporate necessary is Windows updates. You want to stay updated with the Windows patches and the versions. Yes, so we do support Windows update and patch management as well. Increased visibility, we deep dive all your inventory at the fingertips. So we show you a dashboard and we have everything mapped there, right from the enrollment types to the types of devices, everything. Email and exchange management, we also help you with conditional email access policies if that is something that you envisage, right? One device, one email account, and that's it. We lock it down to that. We also can configure and push exchange settings as well. A lot of automations. We have a lot of workflows in place so that you don't have to, keep doing tasks manually. You can automate it through the workflow and features that we currently offer. We do offer a plethora of reporting as well, right? A lot of reports that you would probably want to use for compliance purposes and audit purposes. Yes. Alerts for battery, data storage, device rebooting, and a lot more, which we will see in the demo later. Browser management. All of our existing clients, right? They swear by this feature, right? It's browser management. You do want to restrict browsers to certain websites or certain policies that you want to remotely configure as an IT admin, right? You don't want them to have access or download something that's a malware or something that's malicious. That's why we have website restrictions in place. We also have Chrome and Edge policies. App management, yes, we do offer our own private app store, enterprise store, where you can publish your private apps, be it UWP apps, be it MSIs or Win32 applications. Well, anything that we cannot achieve within the kiosk, within the policies, you can do that using this PowerShell scripting, right? Just map those CSPs, have a script ready, and yes, run them on devices. So that's possible as well. Content management, we do offer our own application called FileDoc, which is used for content management. You push content from the dashboard, and yes, to any computer or any laptop that you desire, and the files stay there. So again, we shall see this in the demo later. Presentation mode, reduce downtime, a lot of things apart from that. Uh, some of the leading brands that we work for, right, and we work with, not an exhaustive list, but some of the most popular ones. And now again, they have a fleet of devices across platforms, right? So they use ScaleFusion for Windows, Android, iOS, Mac, and a lot of other offerings, right? Great. So this is the list. So yes, now it's time for the live demo. So I've set up a few machines, and we can get started. So let's just start sharing my screen in case have any difficulty view the screen or anything. Feel free to let us know in the chat box. Yes. All right. So I have this visible. Okay. Thumbs up would be great if this is in view for everyone. All right. I take that silence for a yes. Okay. Great. All right. So here's the device that we've set up. Okay. This is a Windows 11 device, right? And if I just show you the settings on the PC, right? This is a Windows 11 um, Pro device that we set up for the demo, and we are going to use this. We're going to enroll this using the ScaleFusion Agent app, right? So this is how your dashboard would look like. I've already set up a profile for in the interest of time. Here's the app management section that we use, right? Okay. So if you go scroll right to the bottom, this is the agent that we're talking about, right? So all you got to do is first download this onto your computer. Like if you just download, it just downloads here, right? And which I've already done on this machine, right? So let me just navigate right there and have it installed. There you go. And we are going to enroll this using the ScaleFusion Agent app. All right. So it's getting downloaded. It just takes about a minute. That's it. You see? Yeah, less than that actually. Okay, great. Now we have this agent downloaded, right? Now if you just click on it, now this device is not enrolled with ScaleFusion. You see, it still gives you the enrollment method. Now go to my dashboard. You go to my devices section, right? You should see there's no devices, right? There's absolutely nothing. You just go to the device section. There's nothing. Right now, let me go here and let me enroll this. So we would need an enrollment configuration. So yeah, this is how where you create. So I've created one and I've kept. So we're going to use this. We're going to enroll this using the URL way. So we just go here, we copy this. Of course, all this can be done remotely. Now I just go here and I paste the URL. And of course, every enrollment configuration comes with a unique code. So here's the code, and we go ahead and enroll it. Say enroll device, and this is getting enrolled. This is a remote machine, by the way. I just connected it using third-party software, right? You see, the device enrollment status says enrolled. There's no device name because it has not synced yet. So let me go back to my dashboard. I go to the devices section now. You see the device? I didn't have anything here. This is that instant, folks. Yeah, absolutely instant. Now I just go here and I already have a profile applied to it. right? And let me change the device name real quick, right? Let me change the device name. Let's say Windows demo device, right? Okay, I'll just update it. I'll go back to the device. I open the lockdown. Let me just refresh, right? There you go. The device name is updated instantly, right? Great. Now this is enrolled. Now let's go to the device profile. Every device needs to have a profile, right? Now if you read here, it says application restriction policy not configured. So basically, this was just a profile I used with no restrictions. So that's why if you see the device in itself, it is not restricted, right? It's just like a normal device, right? Like I can just open Chrome and yeah, it just opens, no restrictions. It's just enrolled. So let's go ahead and set some restrictions, right? Now here we have what we've done is we've skipped all policies. So this is enrolled without any policies. So you have two kind of options other than the skip application policy. You can do a multi-app kiosk mode, which again is based on the agent since this is Windows 11 device, right? And you have something called the app locker. Now, I'll just show you. I have another device set up here. This is a Windows device. Again, this is a Windows 10 device, by the way, and this is enrolled using the modern management way. And I have this device set to the app locker policy. So basically, if any app isn't allowed, right, it's simply going to be blocked. Now, let me try opening the VLC player. You see this pop up on screen? Yes, this is what the app locker policy does for you exactly, right? I have this configured to, I guess, only a few applications to open. So if I just open Chrome, yes, that opens, right? And I guess I have Edge. Oh no, I don't, right? C is blocked, right? I guess I have Adobe. I'm not quite sure. No, it isn't, right? So if I've allowed something, it absolutely opens. I believe I have the MDM app agent enabled. Yes, you see that opens. Now, if I just go here and if I just were to show you, right? If I go to work in school, you see this is connected to the MDM agent, right? You see here, connected to Scalefusion MDM, right? This is how I've enrolled the device. And this is enrolled using the modern management and not the agent, right? Now, if I just go to the PC, let me show you what OS this is running, right? Now, this is running the Windows 10, right? The 10 Pro. Yep. So here's a demonstration of what the app locker policy does, right? Yeah, basically this one. Now we're going to go ahead and configure on this device, we're going to configure the multi-app kiosk policy, right? So I will apply this through the Scalefusion MDM app and not the modern management simply because if I use this one, the multi-app kiosk mode will not be allowed simply because it's not allowed on Windows 11. That is precisely why we built the Scalefusion agent app, right? I just add the user. Now you can create an auto user or you can add a policy to one of the existing users. I'll probably just do it on the enrolled user, right? Whatever user this was enrolled, I just use it on that. And let me just select some apps, right? Let me say Chrome, all right. And let me say the Scalefusion agent app probably, right? Admin messages app. And then what else? Let me say Edge, all right. And some general settings if you want to add that, right? Like display settings and what are the folder options you want to give. Do you want to allow the taskbar and so on? So I'm going to just update this profile, right? I just updated it. See three apps here, right? You see, immediately you see a prompt on the screen. There have been some changes made to the policies, blah, blah, right? And the device will auto log off in 5 minutes. So basically, for any policies to apply, you do require a relogin, right? A sign out and sign in. So we show this prompt so that if the user is doing in between some work or something in between something that he needs to wrap up, probably he saves that work before the system enforces an auto log, right? So in the interest of the time, I'm not going to wait 5 minutes. Everybody has their schedules packed. So let me just sign out. I'm going to sign in again. Voila. And let's look at the system. You see this now? Now this is enrolled using the agent. So what did we allow? We had the admin messages allowed. We had Edge allowed and we had Chrome allowed, right? And this is exactly what's allowed. I mean, the Scalefusion agent app, of course, that comes there by default, right? Anything else is restricted. Now I'm trying to right click, nothing works, right? Absolutely nothing. Nothing works. Everything is blocked. You see, this is all we can do. So this is a classic example of what a kiosk does, right? Now let's go back, and there is another option, right? There's another option here where we could apply using the MDM CSP. Now, if you had enrolled the device not using the agent, but the traditional, modern management way, right? This is how the device would look like. I have another device. You see, you get this styled approach, right? You get this styles. This is how it would look if it is enrolled via a modern management. And we don't have this enrolled via modern management, but we have this enrolled via kiosk, and right, and this is how it absolutely works, right? This is we create a shell, everything restricted, and only what's allowed absolutely works, right? Great. Now let's go here. Now I have another I'll probably move on to another feature, right? Maybe a very important feature, and that is website configuration, right? We want to have the website configured, right? There's like tons of features that we have. Like if you see the dashboard, right? A lot of features. So I've configured a website policy here. So just open Chrome, and I have these policies bookmarked. If you see what's allowed, only that works. If I say Scalefusion, that works. I open another tab. If I say Office 365, if you want to have, your employees log into their emails, obviously you would want this allowed, right? Anything else? Let's say, someone tries to access Facebook. Wow, right? Anything else? So apart from what's allowed, everything else is automatically configured, blocked. Yeah. Yeah, so this works with both. This works with the modern management and also works in this kiosk mode that we just set up on the device, right? It is flawless, right? Okay. Now let's move on to another feature. Now we you all know what this is, right? This Teamweaver, very popular, right? And we also offer something similar, right? Now let's go back to the dashboard. Let me show you something really quick. Go to the devices, and then I locate the device, and let's see how we can control a device remotely, like as an admin. How can you control the device, right? Now this device, let me go here and let me say remote cast. Yes, say okay, and start session. See, this is the device, and this prompts here, right? I say start session, and it starts, and then you adopt the screen sharing, right? Okay, great. I just go here, and voila, there you go. In full screen, and you can do a whole lot of, right? I just go back here, and it just go back to the screen, and this is basically if you want to remote into the device, and if you want to, just maybe troubleshoot something, right? Great. So let me just minimize this. This is done. And yeah, this is basically the machine, right? So this is a virtual machine. And again, we are inside a virtual machine connecting virtually. Wow, technology has really evolved. Great. Okay. Now let's look at some other feature, right? Like the file doc feature, right? That we mentioned, right? There you go. So you just publish files remotely, right? So you create this folder. If you push this application using the Scalefusion dashboard, you get this feature called file doc. So you can push content, right? Like if you go to the dashboard, you have this content management section, right? Content. So you go here, you upload any content you want. I just upload a file and I sync it to the device, right? And it just stores right here. I already have, for demo purposes, I already have a couple here. There you go. Scalefusion logo, right? Excellent. Okay. Now let's move forward and let's go back to our machine. Now, if you notice, before we enrolled the device, right, it didn't have the Scalefusion branding. It had the default Windows logo, right? The default Windows wallpaper, sorry. Now we have this customized branding applied, exactly what you see here. Right? If I just navigate to the branding section, right, and it has everything branded like the way we want it, right? Like the any wallpaper of your choice, right? So I have the Scalefusion wallpaper code, and that's what it is. So a plethora of other features, right, for device management, like the branding. You can configure exchange in emails. I would highly recommend you set up a demo, post this if you want to explore all the features like the certificate management, right? Security settings, BitLocker. I can simply enforce BitLocker and it would show up a pop-up on the device and we can configure BitLocker. Defender protection updates, right? Here's how you manage updates, how frequently you want to sync the updates, everything, right? Unfortunately, due to in interest of the time, we can't go through every session. I mean, every feature. Otherwise, the webinar is going to end up being 3 hours. You can also configure Wi-Fi, the custom setting. This is the payload that we were talking about. If you want to run some script, right, remotely push some script and make some changes on the device, you can do that here. Absolutely. Here are the Scalefusion agent settings. Broadcast view. As an admin, you can send messages to the device, right? And some advanced settings that we can apply, right? Now, another very important feature, right? A lot of our clients do ask for a single app mode, right? So basically, they want the device to be always running on a single app mode, single application. Let's say it's a bank. We had a recent use case with a bank from Africa. So they just wanted a completely locked kiosk, right? So basically, as soon as the user gets into the bank, they will have a laptop there stationed, fixed, right? And all they want to have is the banking application, the banking URL, the website running all the time, with the user having access to nothing. So they just log in and they check the status and just navigate the links that are allowed. That's it, right? So maybe we cover that, right? So we just go here and just set it, right? So I have skipped the kiosk app for now. Let me do this. Let me set a single app kiosk. I'm setting it to the browser, right? Let's probably select Chrome, right? A default URL. Let's say what better than ScaleFusion, right? ScaleFusion.com, right? Installation path. You got to set this path to where your Chrome is actually installed. Usually, it's pretty universal, right? This is the path, and I just go ahead and I update it. I update the profile, and it's updating. There you go. You see what happened? It's locked. You can't do anything, right? That's it. It's just locked to this single app, right? Simply locked to the single app. Absolutely locked. And this is all I can do on the device. So yeah, this is again a classic use case. Let me remove that now. Let me go here real quick and we take it off. Again, like I said, highly recommend that if you want to have a look at all the other features, yes, please do reach out to us. And yes, we can have a full-fledged session, assign a product consultant who can walk you through each and every feature. All right. So I just updated the profile now. Yep. And yes, this will require a logout now. This will probably require a sign out, right? Okay. And we sign back in and we should see all good. There you go. That's it. It's back to the restricted kiosk mode, the multi-app kiosk mode that we had applied on this Windows device. Yes. So that was it for the demo. I hope you found it interesting, at least a lot of the features, right? Yes, now it's time for Q&A. Let's open up the session for Q&A, and we are ready to take your questions. Before that, poll time, right? Based on the demo or based on what you've seen or based on what you heard, do you like our team to connect with you for a quick, testing of your use case? Probably set up a device for you absolutely free, set up a trial, and we see. So a quick poll would have popped up on your screen. So please go ahead and submit your answers, right? Let's submit your consent, basically, yes or no, and then we will pause for a bit and we will connect right back. We'll connect right back for the Q&A. So yeah, take a pause for maybe 30 seconds. We vote for, we wait for you to answer the poll. Yeah, great. Interesting. Quite an encouraging number of people who have voted for a yes. We get obliged. We would be more than happy to set up a full-fledged, a full-blown demo, basically demoing every feature that we have on offer. Great. Maybe we wait for another 30 seconds, Akansha. I still see a few more numbers. So,
Sure, let's
okay.
wait.
Yep. Great. And I think now you have time for the questions, right? Okay, great. So maybe we wait another 30 seconds, Akansha, and then we start the Q&A round. Yep.
Sure.
Okay, great. Now, start time for the Q&A, and I have our Windows expert, basically the brainchild behind a lot of features that you see have been developed by the person whom we have on the webinar, Shubham. Right. So, Akansha, let's start with the question and answer. I do see Shubham has answered a few in the chat box already. Maybe something that we have missed, and we specifically wanna cover. Yeah.
Sure, sure. So let's take up the rest of the questions that are still unanswered. So, Smith, I think you can go on mute till that time because I think there's an echo.
I'm sorry, Akansha, couldn't hear you.
I was just requesting you to go on mute because I can hear some echo.
Okay. Do you want me to read out the questions? Maybe some that are unanswered.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, Andrew. I think Andrew Sanders. Yes, the webinar recording will absolutely be available. Yep. Okay. Yeah, Adrian. I think you asked, do computers need to be added to the domain or work locally too? It's optional. It works locally as well, right? That's why we have the agent. Modern management is where you connect it to the domain. Yeah, Shubham, feel free to add up or correct me, if there is something else that you
Sure,
want to add. Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Can you block mass storage devices? Yes, Vinodji, we absolutely can. We do have an option in the profiles where we block USB, connect and yeah, any external devices. We absolutely can block it. Yes, Shubham. Yeah. And yeah, could it work on Windows IoT Enterprise 2016? Yes, I believe so. Shubham, do you want to confirm? I do believe we do
Yes,
have a
yes, it will
workaround
work.
it, right?
Yes, it will work.
Yes. Okay, great. Does it support patching LTCS 2021 or earlier versions of Windows 10? Yes, that's why we have the agent, Narasimha. We have the agent app, so we do manage updates, OS updates, and patching via the agent. So yes, that is absolutely possible. Okay. Will the team look to broaden support outside of Windows devices like Meta headsets or VR? We do support VR specifically for VRs running Android. We do have a few VRs already enrolled. Andrews, yeah, but the others are all work in progress. And just we do have Chromebook, which is on the verge of being launched, and we're also going to support Linux and Ubuntu very soon. So yeah, other than that, yeah, there's all work in progress. Yeah. Can we use this as a third-party compliance partner in Microsoft Endpoint Manager? Uh, Shubham, you want to answer that? I am not 100% sure, because maybe Sarvanand, are you referring to the devices that are already mapped to the Azure account, and then you manage this as a third-party compliance partner? If that's the case, yes, in a way, we do have the provision, right, to enroll devices which are already mapped to your Azure AD. So that is yes. Okay, great. Okay, any more questions? We still have some time, Akansha, I guess.
Yes, we do. So if anyone, Sumit, I think there are two questions in the questions tab as well, so we can take that up as well. So Balaji has asked that is it possible to move from email enrolled devices to kiosk group?
Sorry, I missed that one. Just a second. Okay.
Yes, it is possible to move enroll devices to kiosk group, but the group would be the standard group in order to make it work. Okay.
Yes. Also, Sarvanand, to answer your questions, as a third party for conditional email access, yes, that's possible. Just need to have a license. That's it.
As I can see, the another question would be from Balaji V. Unable to click any option in computer management through remote cars. Yes, we as of now we do not support due to the security reason. We will not be able to click on the any computer management section via the remote support or remote cars application.
So we have another question from Clinton, and like, how do you access Scale Fusion features via API?
Balaji, I think you asked possible to move from email enrolled to a kiosk group. I'm not sure. Shubham, was that answered? Akansha? I think Balaji had a question.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Possible
been
to move.
already
Yep.
answered. Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry, there's a bit of distortion at my end here. Apologies for it. Okay, great.
Sumit, so we have one more questions in the chat box.
Okay, great. So, Catalo, Clinton, Halta, how do you access ScaleFusion features via APIs? We do have Android APIs, Catalo, to answer your questions. We do have a full blown support for APIs for a lot of functionalities, and that's specifically for Android though. I mean, device level as well as the dashboard feature. Yeah.
So we still have few minutes. You can ask your questions in the question box or the chat box.
Also, feel free to always reach out to us via email or anytime, right? The information will be provided post the webinar, right? You'll get the recording and all other information to reach us out. So feel free, right? We also have a very elaborate help talk section where you can self-service, right? Apart from that, yeah, anything else, feel free to set up a demo with us and we'll walk you through everything. Andrew has another question, Andrew Sanders. We have multiple small scale admins, right? US and Globe. Is there a way to create separate dashboards for those admins? Andrew, you can not necessarily create separate dashboards, but yeah, within the dashboards, you can set restrictions for the admin. So we do offer custom roles, right? We do offer roles based on hardback, basically role based access. and right, we do have some preset roles. So one of these can definitely fulfill your requirement. Not necessarily they need to have another dashboard as well. So you have a global admin like the super admin, right? And then you can have either a co-admin and yeah, lot. You can customize the admin the way you want. Sure, sure. That's great to hear. Yeah, we look forward to yeah, hearing from you and yeah, be getting more. Yeah,
Sumit, we have
I
one
think
question in the questions box as well.
I've
okay.
already
Is it
answered
from
that question.
Leonard? Leonard Jenkins?
Yeah.
Okay. Once the agent is installed, does the PC always boot into kiosk mode or a login, or does it have only function as kiosk post the Windows login? No, it's both. It's both the way you want to configure it. So Balaji, possible to push agent through console all at once? Yes, through the app management section, we do offer the functionality to publish it to the range of devices that you have enrolled.
So I think we've taken up all the questions. So is there anyone who still has any question? Please feel free to put in your question in the chat box.
Yes, great. I mean, again, it was great having everyone. I enjoyed the demo, and yeah, thank you everyone for your time. I think we still have one more question. I do see someone type in. I think Andrew, Owen. Yeah, let's just wait. Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate it. Thank you, Owen. Appreciate it. And we do want to hear from you, right? We do want to hear more from you. So please feel free to connect with us. And yeah, look forward to the option to use. Is it only one app as discussed? And yeah, that's a single app mode, Alberto. That is correct. Yes. And if you want to use two apps, you have the multi-app kiosk mode.
So the recording will be available post this webinar once this webinar ends. So you can access the recording, and if you wish to go back to any of the point that we covered in this webinar, please feel free. So thank you everyone for joining in. If you wish to know more
Thank you,
about
everyone.
Scalefusion, please do visit our website, or you can scan the QR code that is visible on your screen to know more about Scalefusion.
Great.
And you can
Thank
also
you.
book a one-on-one
Good evening.
demo with us. Thank you so much for joining in. Looking forward to having you all in our future webinars as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Do we get certificates of attendance, Kathilo? Yes, why not? Let's send you one. Please feel free to connect with us. Absolutely.
Thank you, Gatlo. Thank you, Sumit. Thank you, Shubham. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you all. Bye bye.